See how our YouTube
to the tank. So we're gonna do our thing that we do. Got some stuff to discuss today. Before I go to bed. Apparently I missed news. Apparently I missed some news the other day. Don't worry. We'll fix that. Apparently I missed some news. Biden? Should I play Madden? Oh. Shoot, I played Madden all day and forgot to cover the news. Well, I guess we're on YouTube now, doing that before we go to bed. That's all good. I guess Biden did some debate stuff. Press conference. We're going to be covering all sides of it, I guess. As many as we can find before we get tired. This is pretty fun. We're going to be covering all sides of it, I guess.
I already hit it.
Got it.
All right, here we are.
Alrighty, let's go.
Big boy press conference.
So what does this deal with this big boy shit?
The Democrats have been playing up that Biden's got this big press conference in his back pocket that he's planning to come out and prove to people or make a big announcement.
I love Deep Fat Fried. They're one of my favorite podcasts that I've been listening to the last few weeks. So we're gonna be Deep fat fried. Deepu fatu fridu. Our computer will play today. Load. That is. Fine if it doesn't.
It's beginning to look a lot like fishmen everywhere I go. From the minute I got to town and started to look around, I thought these ill-bred people's gill slits showed. I'm beginning to hear a lot of fishmen right outside my door. As I try to escape in fright to the moonlit Innsmouth night, I can hear some... It's beginning to look a lot like fishmen everywhere I go. From the minute I got to town and started to look around, I thought these ill-bred people's gill slits showed. I'm beginning to hear a lot of fishmen right outside my door. As I try to escape in fright to the moonlit Innsmouth night, I can hear some more. They speak with guttural croaks, and to hear them provokes a profound desire to flee. Their eyes never blink, and quite frankly, they stink like a carcass washed up from the sea. I wish I'd paid attention to that crazy drunken man. He tried to warn me all about old Marsh's Deep One clan. It's beginning to look a lot like fishmen everywhere I go. They can dynamite Devil Reef, but that'll bring no relief. Johanna Flay is deeper than they know. I'll continue to see a lot of fishmen, that I guarantee. For the fishman I really fear is the one who's in the mirror, and he looks like me. He looks just like me.
I already hit it.
Got it. All right. Here we are, Biden's big boy press conference.
So what does this deal with this big boy shit?
The Democrats have been playing up that Biden's got this big press conference in his back pocket that he's planning to come out and prove to people or make a big announcement or whatever the fuck, right? They're saying it's a big boy and that terminology. Thank you, baby. That terminology is just so fucking stupid.
He's a big boy.
We cut live now to the crumbling decay of the American Republic. Woo!
Yeah.
Let's go. Godring Food will take the stage soon to prove he's still got it.
I hope Jeb Bush has a run-in. You know, that would be nice.
Dude. Jib.
But no.
Jib.
Yes, this is real. TJ, can you turn it up a little bit so they can hear this retarded music they're using while they're waiting for Biden to wake up?
Yeah, I'm just making us a little bigger.
Well, I know all of us have been to Disneyland and Disney World. It's kind of like the music they play like when the park is closing. It almost feels like it's like time to leave Disney World. We hope you've enjoyed your stay and had a magical time. It's like, okay.
By the way, The fans will love what I'm having for lunch. You know what that is. You can tell what that is, right, TJ?
It can come down, Paul.
Remember American trees.
And if we get more patrons,
Yeah, I'll turn up so they can hear the...
if we get more patrons, TJ, we're going to cover some fucking words, right?
Earlier they were playing some shit that I
Follow
swear
these
sounded kinda
guys,
like the
follow
Imperial
these guys,
Death March.
follow
It was
these
like,
guys.
Dun, 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 dun.
And the score is kind of like knockoff John Williams, is how I would describe it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
An hour late? What the fuck? What?
An hour late.
An hour late for what?
You bitch! This is like
What?
impromptu stream.
We
bro.
weren't even planning on doing this. We were just fucking...
Wait a minute, wait for...
How the fuck we an hour late?
Does he mean Joe Biden is an hour late? He's talking about us. I mean, we decided to do this just spur of the moment.
Biden's late?
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
They're probably trying to fucking get him to
will
sound
be
cogent back
covering
there, like
various
slapping him around and stuff.
Sally
sources
Sanders,
of the Biden
she
debate,
sluts,
starting with
mother.
the fact side. My
God damn it,
favorite
Biden. You got to get through this.
Hey, you know, if you're going to try to do like a big boy press conference to prove you still got it, maybe don't be an hour late for that, you know?
That would be a good idea, probably.
Maybe not.
Look at these people. I feel there's a very common presence of having these, like, really weird, like, people just standing looking at the crowd, holding, like, notes. Like, okay. Did you guys read that even George Clooney is like, you know what, Biden's got to step down? And there was literally, because I'm on the DNC's fucking list, they sent me an email and it's like,
Yep, I'm
it's
on
like
the list
3 or 4
too.
weeks ago, it was like, this George Clooney, we need to
list
raise money
sucks.
for Joe
I hate the
Biden. Now
list.
his ass is like, oh, never mind.
George Clooney
But I don't have the
like
mic
30
right
million.
now, so...
Yeah, he did, and he had a fucking
Like an
New York
online
Times op-ed, didn't he?
Yeah.
Where he's like, nope, Biden has changed. Biden's too old for this shit.
Here, TJ, I'm going to send you a link while we're waiting for this in the private chat to what else happened today that you guys might have missed. I saw it while in between our recordings, I went outside and had a smoke and looked at my phone. A lot of the Dem-aligned people were like, watch and see how Biden is at NATO. Here's how Biden was at NATO. Oh, you got to unmute it.
Who has as much courage. And now I want to hand it over to the president of Ukraine, who has as much courage as he has determination. Ladies and gentlemen, President Putin.
I love when the speaker does that. Jesus Christ. Yeah, stop. I know. Come the fuck on. Want to hear what it's doing? I always love that.
Maybe Biden is actually, he's so fucked up because half of his brain is in the future, so he knows in the future that is the correct way to refer to the president of the Ukraine is President Putin.
Yeah, that ain't good. Oh, shit, is it happening?
President Putin. President Zelensky.
Oh, no, okay, never mind. I thought that was the press conference.
Biden's diaper's being changed. This is the make or break for two people left.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people are speculating about this. I want to know what you guys think about it. Do you think Biden is announcing he's stepping down here?
I think he's fucked.
God, I hope so.
Because there's a lot of people coping, saying like, we think like he's going to try and announce this because it's like the day before the RNC starts, where Trump is expected to announce his VP, and this would steal
the thunder
of that move, right?
Dude, I wish Joe Biden was. I honestly don't think he's stepping down, man.
No, I don't think so either.
It's not Biden.
As much as I want Joe Biden not to be up there,
An update saying Biden has passed away in the back.
He's just testing it. I don't know.
Nope.
Never mind.
Making sure.
Never mind.
Ladies and gentlemen, Joe Biden had a accident in his pants, and we're gonna be cleaning that up. It's bad. I mean, it went down his leg.
The fact that people don't remember that Vatican incident is wild. It just goes to show you how many like lapses and weirdnesses there have been with Biden, because like, dude shit crapped his pants in front of the Pope.
Dude, there's something every week. I mean, Paul, we've been covering Biden for years, and it's like every week there's something. Every fucking week he does some weird shit or something.
I think they're announcing him. Hold up.
Joe Biden.
I'll stand for the president.
You stand for the president.
Mute up.
Out of the thing.
Thank you. Please be seated. Well, good evening. We just concluded this year's NATO summit, and the consensus among the members was a great success. It's especially momentous because it represented the 75th year, the most important military defense alliance in the world.
This dude's older than NATO, man.
We should never forget that NATO grew out of the wreck
Damn it.
of World War II, most destructive war in history. The idea was to create an alliance of free and democratic nations that would commit themselves to a compact of collective defense. Standing together, they knew we'd all be safer. An attack on one would be treated as an attack on all. And it's worked because a would-be aggressor knows they attack one of us, they'll be attacked by all of us. Sending that message is the best way to deter aggression and prevent wars in the first place.
Okay.
For those who thought NATO's time had passed,
I'm watching
they got a rude awakening
podcast
when Putin invaded Ukraine.
Doesn't seem like he's building up to
Some
the
of the
by the
oldest
way, I'm stepping
deepest
down.
fears in Europe
I don't think he
roared
is,
back
dude.
to life.
Yeah, dude. Hopefuls and shambles right now. This sounds like I'm trying to show you I'm still presidential.
This time, no one cowered.
But his pants fell down at the NATO summit today already, so.
We collected intelligence.
The President Putin, my boy. Oh shit, Zelensky. Zelensky, goddammit.
We know that the old man can read off of a couple of teleprompters. He did that at the State of the Union. He's done that basically every time we've seen him in a couple of years.
Yeah.
But this is supposed to be a press conference, which means there should be a Q&A from the press.
Yeah, there should be. I mean,
Now, knowing the DNC, I would imagine that Q&A is going to be
Policy experts thought
carefully
the mass Russian
cultivated.
oh, it's going to be 100% cultivated and very much softballs, I expect.
We saw, I mean, there was that radio host that got fired for just reading questions verbatim that the White House had
Ukrainian
given.
people, backed by a coalition to help build, stopped them. Today, Kyiv still stands, and NATO stands stronger than it has ever been. During the week of this summit,
Excuse me.
in their statements to thank the United States and to thank me personally for all that NATO has achieved.
You know what this reminds me of, dude?
Stronger
You guys remember that scene in
because we
The
let
Devil's Advocate where that voodoo guy like puts a curse on the prosecuting attorney and makes him all like
Yeah, I do remember that, yeah. Same shit.
I wonder if there's some voodoo guy that's got like a chicken gizzard with a nail and he's like, yes, come. Or if it's just because this guy's old and decrepit and dying.
quote, do whatever the hell you want. In fact, the day after Putin invaded Ukraine, here's what he said. It was genius. It was wonderful. Some of you forgot that, but that's exactly what he said. But I made it clear, a strong NATO is essential to American security. And I believe the obligation of Article 5 is sacred.
Okay.
And I would remind all Americans.
So when's
Article 5
NATO
is
then?
only once in NATO's long history.
Excuse me.
America after 9/11.
Excuse me, Scott.
Clear.
Okay, sorry.
I will not bow down to Putin.
To Putin, yeah.
I will not walk away from Ukraine.
I will not bow down to Putin, Jack.
Strong.
I want
Putin is tasting.
I will eat pudding, but I will not bow
It is
before it.
tasting. Putin is tasting. What the fuck is wrong with Biden, dude?
He just comes out here, he's like,
Man, guess what, guys? He's fucking old. You saw that I sucked in that 90-minute debate, but watch how I can almost kind of shamble my way through a pre-prepared speech.
An hour late.
For decades to come.
That'll show you.
Every
I
American
love NATO.
must
I'd
ask
suck
herself and
NATO's
himself.
cock if it put it in my mouth.
World
I'd suck it
safer
all
with
that
NATO?
long.
just
you
a fun
safer?
friend, remember a lot of NATO's
Is
founding
your
members
family
and generals
safer?
were former Nazis.
I mean,
I believe
yeah,
former,
come on. Let's not split.
the answer to all those questions is yes.
Wasn't
And I
Bandera?
American people understand.
Wasn't Bandera a literal
America's
Nazi
stronger.
sympathizer?
Stronger because
I'm
of
not
our
too
allies.
familiar, actually.
I believe the American consensus from Truman to Reagan to me still holds today. America cannot retreat from the world.
Reagan,
Biden.
Yeah, I know.
I can't remember the
We're
rest.
an indispensable nation.
Why would you want to why wouldn't you pick a couple of like leftist presidents or whatever the fuck? Like, why would you do Truman and Reagan?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, because he wants those Reagan votes.
He's probably trying to fucking, do his
wants those
reach across
old-
the aisle, try to appeal to some Republican somewhere that's hypothetically not
He
happy with
wants
Trump.
all the old boomers that voted for Reagan to be like, see, I like Reagan too.
It's like Reagan.
If I was like, if Reagan was alive today, he'd be just like me.
To bring those
Reagan had
prices down
Riz.
further.
I said it earlier.
Meanwhile,
Reagan had Riz. Reagan was actually able to win his second term because he was an actor and was able to convince the public that he wasn't dementia-ridden, even though he most definitely was. Most definitely was. I don't think Biden can do it,
tariff and everything Americans buy.
I'm a little.
Hey, you know what would have been a really good opportunity for you to make this case against Trump?
Right.
Economists
some kind of like
what's his
debate,
case
that would
against
cost
Trump?
the
would have made
average
these
working
points
family
there.
another
Unfortunately, making them off the cuff is kind of beyond you, right?
Mainstream Democrat. Who would you choose to replace Biden? Mine is.
Secure the border. So the border
if I could just choose one, Gavin Newsom. would
Yeah,
probably
that'd be
have the
nice.
best
I think
Trump,
Newsom,
Secure the border.
J.D. Pritzker, hell, even, God, as awful as it might be, just due to the fact that he's not an 81-year-old man. I said Fetterman like months ago, but hell no. Fetterman completely betrayed all of his values immediately after getting power. But they weren't really
Republicans and
all his
Democrats have worked
values,
on
if you know what I mean.
because he thought it would benefit.
The dude that sent to the super chat said Gretchen Whitmer was his.
Whitmer?
I don't know who that is really.
I took executive
Like
action.
governor
last
of
month.
Michigan, I think.
As a consequence,
Paul,
working
he's
with
not showing
Mexico,
signs of dementia. He's just
border encounters have gone down over
weeping.
50%.
He's
The current
You
level
need a widow nap.
lower today than when Trump left office.
He's
Third,
creepy.
for months, the United States has been working to secure a ceasefire in
I
Gaza.
feel like it's getting slurrier and slower.
To create a path.
I feel like they just sent him out there with all the talking points he was supposed to get across
6
in the
weeks
debate,
ago,
but didn't.
I laid out a detailed
So
plan.
now they're trying to like get him to do it
in
here.
writing. Was endorsed by the UN Security Council, the G7. That framework is now agreed on by both
It's too bad
Israel
he's
and
so
Hamas.
fucking boring. It's like
So I sent my team to the
almost
region
impossible to
to
pay
hammer out the
attention to him.
details. These are difficult.
Well, because
complex-
he doesn't have a cadence of a man that's delivering a speech. He has the cadence of an old man trying to read.
Yeah.
And I'm determined to get this deal done and bring an end to this war, which should end now.
Look, he's going to do it all, guys.
Let me conclude where I began.
Look,
We're the United States of America. We are.
I feel like America is one of his struggle
Our
words.
leadership matters.
Mug.
Our partnership.
Yeah.
They're like the face of America.
We must rise to meet it.
It's not good, folks.
That
Yeah, dude, big boys do poop their pants every once in a
Every once in a while, every once in a while. Corn pop, you can't stop. Can't stop the corn pop. It's beginning to look a lot like Fishman everywhere I go. La da dee la do la dee la da dee ba dee 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 do dee 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 la da 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 dee 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 dee. La da 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 dee 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 dee. It's beginning to look a lot like Biden is gonna lose. I don't know what to tell you now. I do not want you to frown, but it's true. But it's true. Yes, it's true. Yes, it's true. I do not make the rules. I do not want you to be very frightful. I do not understand why he is so old and he's still deciding to run. It really is a shame that these fishmen get in the way. Wanting too much power, they're to blame, they're to blame.
Matter.
It's beginning
We must rise to meet it.
Gonna lose.
With that,
I do
Yeah,
not make
dude,
the
big
rules. I
boys
want
do
you
poop their
to
pants
be
every
a
once in a while, okay, but probably not in front of the
Oh,
Pope.
yes, I do.
Roy,
Poop on the
Jeff
Pope.
Mason.
Yes, I do.
You make
Take
sure
the
that you take
questions.
a dump before you see the Pope.
Is there any
All right, there's
questions?
questions
You
now.
do not
Mr.
even
President,
think what you
your
want to say
political
now. You do not
future
even
has
think
hung
it's
over the
absurd.
NATO summit a little
Well, I
bit
don't
this
think
week.
you have heard that
Speaker
Biden is
Pelosi made a
talking,
point
and
of
now we
suggesting
should
that your
shut
decision on whether to stay in the race was still open.
up.
George Clooney and a
No.
handful of lawmakers have called on you to step aside. Reuters is reporting tonight that UAW leadership is concerned about your ability to win.
UAW just endorsed
I don't need to be
Go ahead.
Reuters to understand how
Yeah, they endorsed you
concerned
before that.
My
God
question
is.
for you is, how are you
Before that-
incorporating these developments into your decision to stay? And
Concerning.
separately, what concerns do you have about Vice President Harris's ability to beat Donald Trump if she were at the top of the ticket?
Look, I wouldn't have picked Vice President Trump to be vice president. Because I think she's not qualified for
Vice President Trump?
No.
You didn't even catch it.
Man.
the consideration.
I wouldn't have picked
I
Vice
think I'm the
President
most
Trump.
qualified person to run for president.
If I didn't think Vice President
He
Trump
wants-
could beat Vice President Trump, I'd
Again.
vote for Vice
First
President
fucking
Trump.
sentence. The first
The
sentence.
idea
That was off
I
the
saw
script.
it Senator a long
And he
time.
fucked it.
I know.
The idea
I gotta be
that
honest with you guys. I mean, if I was Trump, I might even agree to it. Yeah,
Congress-
sure, Joe. I'll
running
be
for
vice
office.
president.
never would have
Worry about the ticket. It's not you.
president if I didn't
And I might add,
couldn't beat Vice
at least 5 presidents
there.
running or incumbent presidents
It's Jover, bro.
have more numbers than I have.
Well,
now.
it was already.
No, don't do the
Joker.
whispers. Don't do the whispers McMillan thing.
There's a long way to go in this campaign.
He leaned in.
I'm just going to keep moving, and because look,
Keep sundowning. Keep flubbing up in
I'm
public.
gonna keep on rolling,
We've made
Jack.
so much progress. Think about it. Think
What-
about
what
what we
progress?
are economically relative to the rest of the world. Name
Okay.
me a world leader who wasn't
At
on
least he's
three.
not bright orange like he was in the Stephanopoulos interview.
Yeah, they found the right level of orange or whatever.
Yeah, they toned because he was fucking orange.
I know.
More to go.
Yes, he was. He was so
Working
fucking
class
orange.
people
I
still
don't even
need help.
understand it.
Corporate greed is still at large.
Is that what it is? It's at large?
Where's that corporate greed at?
Where is it?
They're coming down.
God damn! If we could only find that son of a bitch, we'd arrest him.
Yeah, if only the government would do something about
Daddy
that.
Kemp. They
Oh, they knew where it was.
He's got a list.
Thanks. Thank you, Mr. President. I wanted to ask you about your, you mixed up Presidents Zelensky and Putin earlier today.
Also, your mix-up of fucking Trump.
You now have sort of your key allies, including the British Prime Minister, the President of France, the German Chancellor having to step in and make excuses for you on that. Officials here are saying off the record that your decline has become noticeable. Hasn't this now, frankly, become damaging for America's standing in the world?
Yes.
Did you see any damage to our standing by leading this conference? Have you seen a more successful conference? What do you think?
Yeah.
And
What?
the Putin piece, I was talking about Putin, and I said,
What
now,
are you talking about?
at the very end, I said, here, I mean,
Did
Putin,
you just
I
try
said,
to be like,
no, I'm sorry, Zelensky.
Why is this conference such a banger then, bro?
This conference is great.
Why is this
Man,
conference
this
going
is
so
fucked,
well if
bro.
I'm fucked up, huh? It's
The
like,
idea, anybody suggests
you're not winning it. You're not doing yourself any favors, bro.
that
This is not coming
we
across
haven't
in
had
reality
an
like it is
incredibly
in your
successful
mind.
Conference.
Do you know what Biden should
How many
do?
times did you
Biden should
hear
have order that man arrested
in that
and executed in the
conference?
public square.
I know
You
it sounds
fucking
too
literally said
self-serving,
Trump
but
was your vice president,
other
man.
leaders.
I mean, Trump is going to be the vice president, right?
Thanking me, saying the reason we're together is because of Biden. Because Biden did the following. Look, folks, this is well.
They're
anyway,
not saying.
I
They're not saying boo Biden. They're saying, boo Iden.
Well, it was the most successful conference I've attended.
Oh my fucking God, bro!
He just lost the fucking plot thread.
Next one. Sorry, Nancy Cordes, FCBS.
Thank you, Mr. President. You mentioned other instances in history where presidents have faced a challenge, but what makes this moment in history so unique is that it is not your enemies who are calling on you to reconsider your decision to stay in the race. It's your friends, supporters, people who have done a great job over the past 4 years.
We love him very
I'm
much.
thinking about what it would mean for your legacy,
but we don't
which
think
you've worked
you can
decades
fucking
to build.
ski anymore.
If you stay in the race,
I was 21. Look at this.
and you lose to someone who you yourself are unfit to return to the Oval Office.
Look, I'm not in this for my legacy.
Okay, then
I'm in this to complete the job I started.
you did it.
As you recall,
Good.
understandably,
You completed
many of
it.
you
Your one job was beat Trump in 2020. You did it.
You did
Grandpa.
it.
put forward.
You can retire.
All right, guys, I got it. Because Biden doesn't know what the fuck is going on. We replace him and we tell him like, you're still president. We build an Oval Office set.
Economic
Yeah, we fucking have an Oval Office set stuff built for him. You know, he gets to go around the country thinking he's the president for like, he's the president.
Yeah, and man, class out, Joe. We had fascism a long time ago. You did it.
Stop.
Your job was to win in 2020. You accomplished it. You got to go.
Everybody else.
Yeah, he said he's gonna be a one-term president.
You said that.
I won't forget that. Like, Joe Biden was like, one and done, Jack, one and done.
Middle class people and working class people.
That's great, Grandpa. Let's go to
So
bed.
what happened is I decided to was able to implement as president what I believed when I was a senator. And that is that the way to build this economy is from the middle out and the bottom up.
Okay.
That way we grow the economy.
Okay. That's a Hillary Clinton line, by the way.
And guess what?
That's a line that Hillary Clinton used against Trump in the debate.
Haven't done well.
The middle out, bottom up line, guaranteed.
Yeah.
And so we got more to do, though. We got to finish.
It's a standard DNC line, and this keeps falling apart in front of us. And like he's rambling on like we want to hear him be statesmanly with a prepared statement.
In Delaware than every other state in the nation combined.
He better stand here and get grilled for like an hour. If he cuts this after one more question or some shit, it's,
You know he is. This ain't gonna last long. Look at this.
It's time, for example, if I'm reelected, we're going to make sure that rents are kept at 5% increase in corporate rents.
what does this have to do with the question of how does it feel to have your friends abandon you? Like, because they don't think you can do the job.
He's so cooked.
We're going to make sure that rent only increases 5%, Jack.
Union, not labor. Union.
Shaky about you right now, okay, Joe?
Union. Everybody does better. Everybody does better. And you talk about how, for example, when I went, remember when
I kind of like the Whisper McMillan thing. I think if he actually had a real cadence to his voice, that Whisper might do something.
It did in 2020.
40% of the United States and former presidents.
We can say some people that say you're too old to do the job. Watch me. You know what I mean? That was good.
There and import what the product was.
I just don't think it works anymore because he looks lost and sounds
I
lost.
was told not to go over to Europe. I mean, to Asia. Asia.
This dude used to have like
common mix up, you know.
Convincing him to invest $20
back a
billion.
lot, dude.
The United
In the
States.
70s, 80s, 90s, he had some energy. And now it's
2000, maybe 2010, even 2020.
Even in the 2020 race, he had more energy than this.
Economy in the
He had
world.
something.
The best work.
He had something. I don't know about energy, but he had something.
He had something. He doesn't have no more.
I felt like Biden had a baseline level of competence in 2020. Now it's like there's just nothing there. There's nobody home. Like this guy is just fucking just stumbling his way through every press conference, every meeting.
Grow economies.
It's
all three.
By the way, I mean, there's no way that people would want to play Biden to play the game if Biden was.
So my generic point is
they felt like it gets
the idea
that's why people are calling for this.
Can't continue to build and grow the economy. Make it fair.
This is just a ramble, bro. It has nothing like that. This pivot is such a ramble.
Middle class stuff.
People ask, like, what do you say to the fact that a lot of party loyalists and people that back you are now calling for you to please step aside because you're old and decrepit and falling apart? It's like, oh, what you gonna do with grow the economy, guys? You know?
Kamala Harris would be ready to serve on day one. Can you elaborate on that? What is it about her actions, her accomplishments over the last 4 years that make her ready to serve on day one if necessary?
First of all, the way she's handled the issue of freedom of women's bodies to have control of their bodies. Secondly, her ability to handle...
What, let fucking Roe v. Wade disappear on her watch? Like what?
She was a first-rate person, and in the Senate she was really good.
First-rate person, don't cut it.
Qualified to be president. From the very beginning. I made no...
You wouldn't have picked her if she wasn't a black woman from the beginning, bitch.
That's why I picked her.
No, you picked her because she was black and you needed Georgia.
Biden was going to look at people who are up on the deck, and he's like, that's the best one, Jack.
Thank you, Mr. President. The presidency is the most straining job in the world, and it's 24/7. How can you say you'll be up for that next year, in 2 years, in 4 years, given the limits you've acknowledged that you have today?
The limits I've acknowledged I have?
There's been reporting that you've acknowledged that you need to go to bed earlier and you're evening around 8.
Oh, that reporting is all false.
What I said was, instead of my every day starting at 7 and going to bed at midnight, it'd be smarter for me to pace myself a little more. And I said, for example, the 8
You know, that's what this guy's Joe's just working
starting the
hard.
fundraiser at 9 o'clock.
This guy's working hard for the American
country. Get to go at 10 o'clock.
Goddamn.
That's what I'm talking about. Since I made that stupid mistake of...
Come on, Joe, you're working for the fucking country, dude.
Oh my God, bro! Did you guys hear that?
No.
Sorry, my schedule since I made that stupid mistake of the campaign in the debate.
He's done virtually nothing.
Yeah. That's great.
And I don't know how many. Don't hold me to roughly.
Dude, people need to go to bed now.
Someone with thousands of people showing up. And so
people are sleeping.
I just think it's better.
Well, I think it's
I always have an inclination, whether I was playing sports or doing politics,
all right,
just to keep going.
That's what you gotta do, Joe. Just get yourself a green mohawk and some fucking shades.
And the next debate, I'm not going to be traveling 15 time zones.
And a leather jacket with a fucking anarchy flag
that's
on
what
it.
it's about.
Hire Vermin Supreme to be your body double and have him come out and do your next press conference.
Yeah, or at least come out with a Vermin boot on your head.
Yeah, put Vermin Supreme's boot on your head and replace Kamala with Vermin Supreme.
Anyway.
Fuck yeah.
I'd vote for you immediately, bro, because I think you're dead in the first fucking 6 months. You win, bro. I don't think you're long for this world.
Zeke Miller, Associated Press.
Zeke.
Thank you, Mr. President. Two questions for you. First,
I'll ask the same question.
Zelensky in your
Mr. President,
he pressed you to lift your limitations on the Ukrainian use of American weapons, saying that in his public remarks afterwards, saying that Ukraine cannot win the war unless those limitations are lifted. Are you reconsidering your position on that? And then secondly, following up on Felicia's question there, leaders of your own party have said that they're not worried about they're worried about the next bad night.
Here's the fourth most question, but also, you sure you're fucking up for this? You don't look up for this, bro.
More bad nights at debate stage or somewhere else.
First thing, Zelensky asking for the ability to strike deep into Russia.
Oh shit.
We've allowed Zelensky to use American weapons in the near term, in the near abroad, into Russia.
The near term and the near abroad.
The near term and the near abroad. I haven't heard that.
Okay.
Should Zelensky
I'm not going to say that's wrong necessarily, but it is
Moscow.
Strange turn of phrase.
Strike the Kremlin. Would that make sense? It wouldn't. Question is, what's the best use of the weaponry he has?
Okay.
The weaponry we're getting to it. I've gotten a more long-range capacity as well as defensive capacity. And so our military is where I'm following the advice of my commander-in-chief,
your commander-in-chief? Who's
President Trump?
As well.
Did he say commander-in-chief?
I'm following the advice of my commander-in-chief.
On a day-to-day basis, how far they should win. That's a logical thing to do.
That's a good plan.
Bad nights, sir. How do you reassure the American people that you won't have more bad nights, whether they be on a debate stage?
When he
puts on, here's what's
the way I assure them is the way I assure myself.
Put that smile on your face. People love that smile, but when it melts away, it's worse than not smile.
More major piece of legislation passed in 3.5 years.
It's so fucking weird, man.
Created 2,000 jobs this last week. So if I slow down, I can't get the job done. That's a sign that I shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah, you've said you've slowed down. You said in the Stephanopoulos interview, you're not as fast as you used to be. You're not as quick as you used to be. You can't speak as well as you used to. You said if you slowed down, I'm going to step aside.
Lusky Radio.
Thank you, Mr. President. How are you?
I'm well.
It's taking forever to find that name on the list.
The elections in the U.S. have consequences around the world. You have pretty high standing in Europe. I just asked President Macron about you, and he said we are happy to have him as the President of the United States. But there is a concern. Many people in Poland and across Europe are worried that the former president may win the election. And there's a lot of concern that Donald Trump may weaken NATO, stop supporting Ukraine, or push Ukraine to give up territories to Russia.
They're correct.
And yourself was warning just 2 minutes ago about it. So my question is, do you think that Europe will be left on its own if Donald Trump wins the election? And what's your advice to European leaders
to
prepare for possible U.S. disengagement?
F- for Paul.
Well, look, I think, how can I say this without sounding too self-serving? I'm not having any of my European allies come up to me and say, Joe, don't run. What I hear them say is, you've got to win. You can't let this guy come forward. He'd be a disaster. He'd be a disaster. I mean, I think he said in one of his rallies, don't hold me to this recently, where NATO, I just learned about NATO or something to that effect. Foreign policy has never been his strong point. And he seems to have an affinity to people who are authoritarian. That worries, as I tell you, Poland, that worries Europe. That worries Poland. And nobody, including the people of Poland, think that if he wins in Ukraine, he's going to stop in Ukraine. That's going to be the end of it. And so what I can say is, I think I'm the best qualified person to do the job, to make sure that Ukraine does not fall, that Ukraine succeeds.
Why though? You didn't like anything about why. You merged one guy for a second there.
They all won, TJ. They all won.
I remember talking to Putin right after he got elected in Geneva.
Not too clever. Whoa, he just dropped.
And he was talking about what we should do. We couldn't be in Eastern Europe, etc. And I said, you're looking for the Finlandization of Ukraine, because you're going to get the NATOization of Finland. And about 4 weeks later, I got a call. No, that's not true. Probably 5 months later, the president of Finland, could he come and see me? In my office. I invited him to the Oval Office.
Is people talking about classified meetings?
Because that was the style at the time.
And then I got a call from the Swedes.
Is people talking about...
I beg your pardon?
I beg your pardon. And then the Swedes came and said...
So Finland.
Oh,
was that a protester?
We'd like to join too.
800-mile border is a significant.
Then they came down to the Oval Office.
I wonder if that was a protester getting the hustle.
And you heard,
I don't know.
I think you heard, maybe, I can't recall what you said in public in our closed meeting, but you wouldn't mind me repeating.
And what's going through these reporters' minds right now watching this shit? They got to be like,
meltdown, 5-alarm fire.
Because of the joint meltdown together, just to dissuade any attack on Finland.
Maybe.
The same thing with Sweden. It took a lot of selling, some folks, particularly in Turkey and other places, to agree to the expansion.
Well, guys, my confidence in Biden has been restored by this press conference.
Yeah,
like, how would this press conference be going so fucking well right now if he wasn't sharp as
guys,
that?
all this stuff we're doing right now, we all go and donate $100 to Joe Biden. I mean,
I think what we saw in the debate was obviously jet lag and a cold. This man, there's no problem. He is fine.
We talked about AUKUS. We talked about
100% agree with Biden.
Between Australia,
I retract all criticism of him.
Japan, South Korea,
the guy who's there,
the United States.
Yep.
We're making the world safer and stronger. Because we have to deal with the new arrangement that exists in the world.
Yeah, the new arrangement.
The Cold War is over.
I survived a hurricane for this.
What is going to replace
I
it?
survived before.
And I respectfully suggest
is there a
pretty good idea what that
now
should
at this point?
Just a lot of people follow.
No.
We're just going to
Oh, sorry, Joey just passed that exit.
If you think there's a point coming, that's nothing but an oasis that like melts into a mirage the second you actually approach.
Very nice, David.
Mr. President, the NATO declaration that was
he's already asleep.
yesterday, it was very notable because it described China as a decisive enabler of the war in Ukraine and for its provision of critical goods
this
to the
conference is
Russians.
fucking boring as shit.
As part of a broader partnership that seems to have cemented
Well, you know, Scotty, sometimes politics is boring.
past 2 or 3 years. I think one of you were on the doubtful
to follow our focus because it is our civic duty in this country.
So I'd be interested to know whether
boring
you
horse
have a
shit,
strategy now
That's
of
good to
trying to
keep
interrupt the
that.
partnership between China and Russia. And whether or not, in a second term...
Look at him. Look at his eyes, dude. He doesn't know what the question is anymore.
And along the way, could you also tell us...
Oh, yeah. When you start feeling lost, Joe, just smile.
Follow up on Felicia's question, that if you were in a room with Vladimir Putin, again, the way you were 3 years ago, or with President Xi, that a few years from now, you will be able to go negotiate with them, handle them one-on-one?
Well, the first part of the question is, we discussed and I raised in the NATO summit, and others raised, the future of China's involvement.
So these are pre-selected questions.
What they're
And
doing
Joe
with
has
Russia.
papers in front of him that he can refer to, probably
Facilitating
each reporter's name.
Additional, they're not supplying.
Well, he's definitely reading reporter's name off of a piece of paper.
Mechanism.
Oh, dude, I guarantee you there's more than just reporters' names down
And
there.
China's position is
Certainly.
basically
I'm sure they've already
more
presented
time
these questions.
than any world leader has. Over 90 hours since being vice president all the way through, for real. And by the way, I handed all my notes. But my point is that
Handed all your notes except for the big boxes of them that they found in your garage and shit, but whatever.
that China,
By the way, the courts found you to be too old to prosecute for that,
any country,
which I think is funny.
Yeah, that was great.
Remember that?
in return,
Not to be a devious politician that did this on purpose, but rather a doddering old man who could not remember when his son died or what year he became vice president.
cannot.
Which file was it?
Sorry, I was just editing a song that I'm working on. There we are. Travis will see it. Travis will see it.
Which file was it now, Ted?
God damn it. We're never getting through with this video, are we?
I just understand.
Go to the box, Joe.
That if they are supplying Russia,
Yeah, he loves this term here. This term right here.
working with North Korea
By the way,
to help
It's like one of his like ums or uhs.
By
the way, now,
benefit economically as a consequence of
Are you
that.
starting to get a sheen to you guys?
They're looking
A little bit. You think that's like
So,
sweat
for example,
starting to bead?
We're in a situation where...
I mean, this is working hard for him. Or is he just getting, like, greasy and clammy? It looks like to me he's just getting clammy.
Yeah, he's getting all clammy.
Going down, all of a sudden,
there's a little sheen of sweat on his forehead.
Well, we set up
his hands are probably clammy as fuck.
There's a direct line between...
Turn Biden up. Sorry, boss. This is as loud as he gets.
No, I could turn him up.
When they contact one.
Oh, yeah. I can turn him up. I'm not turning him up. Fuck you. I don't want to listen to this shit.
You have to make sure that she understands there's a price to pay for undercutting both the Pacific Basin as well as Europe, and it relates to Russia and dealing with Ukraine.
Did that answer your question?
So we...
What? Okay, back to China.
Really well.
Make this one
China. You have to have a 51% Chinese owner. You have to be certain. If you don't have the authority, then you have to provide all access to all the data and information you have. There was a while there, as you recall, the last administration and other administrations, where the access to that market was enticing enough to get companies to come in. Because they had
what of the meek, the mourning, and the merciful,
a market,
all doomed.
And so they were doing it. But that got curtailed when we started saying we're going to play by the same rules. For example, the idea they don't abide by the international rules related to subsidizing products. So guess what? They're not going to be able to...
Well, I thought Shank could go on, what was he on?
Others are doing the same thing around the world.
Wait a second, earlier on, Trump do tariff bad. Oh, China have tariff on electric vehicles, China bad.
South
Shank was on, like,
Russia.
I don't remember what it was, but he was on something, or he was on David Pac-Man. And the sweat index was swampy, dude. Real hot, real humid, heavy.
Sweating more lately.
Yeah.
Impact?
Yes, I do, but I'm not prepared to talk about the detail of it in public. And I think you'll see that some of our European friends are going to be curtailing their...
Watching Biden talk is like playing a fucking old school video game.
I don't think the DNC realizes that we are far beyond pretending that this guy has some idea what's going on geopolitically. Like, people know that Peepaw is reading from a script when Peepaw is reading from a script. And people know that he's hollowed out inside, dude. Like, you have to address that. And this is not helping.
Is that, and I raised it, and there was, I didn't hear any... I can't swear.
Half the time he doesn't make any sense, and half the time it does make sense. He's so fucking boring, you can barely fucking get him.
For example, we talked about how both the EU as well as NATO has to be able to begin to build their own munition capacity, has to be able to generate their own capacity to provide for weapons and the ability to... It came as a surprise to some of us how we had fallen behind in the West in terms of the ability to construct new material, new weaponry, new everything from vehicles to weapon systems. And so one of the things that came out of this was...
Trillions of dollars with like...
my colleagues.
Hey guys, we can't build anything.
What do we do to increase the capacity...
That run-on sentence veered into a new sentence about 3 times.
To be able to
generate... And it kind of circled. I mean, like, all he had to say was like, we want to invest and help them build better weapons systems. That's it.
Able to generate that.
Yeah.
They need to be able to build their own munitions.
Trying to figure out.
It doesn't take some giant run-on sentence. Oh, it's fucking 20 million different fucking places.
This is the over-preparing of Joe Biden rearing its ugly head. They've gotten him to memorize these responses so much that he's just lilting in and out of different ones for every answer. He's just like every time somebody asks you, like, you're old and demented, what are you going to do about that? Just be like, Xi Jinping isn't worried about whether I'm old or demented. He's worried about Taiwan, and I'm worried about Taiwan. Like
I said, I'm dealing with Xi right now and direct contact with him. I have no good reason to talk to Putin right now. There's not much that...
I would argue that you have every good reason to talk to Putin. I mean, if I had my way, I'd lock you two genocidal retards in a room together and let you fucking and not let you out until you hash it out. But I don't get my way.
Ready to talk. I'm not ready to talk to Putin.
Yeah, we know.
I'm not ready to talk to Putin at all.
Yeah. Look,
trust me, everybody knows you're not ready.
Putin can talk to his hand. The face don't understand. Oh.
This needs to be the slogan.
Don't hold me the exact number, but I think Russia had 17.3% of Ukraine that they've conquered. Now it's 17.4%.
Jack,
I mean, in terms of percentage of territory.
2024.
If you don't like it, look for the other Biden.
I'm Joe Biden. I'm 100%. I'm the vice president, and I'm going to run. And you'll see.
Will you tell me the truth?
Yeah.
Do you remember that day I passed out during the show? Yeah. I died that day, and is this fucking real?
Leading
hell.
Purgatory. I don't know why the fuck you brought me here. How did I die?
I don't think we're very good.
Maybe you were shocked with grief when I died, and you died with grief, and then Scotty was grieving both of us at the same time, and he died.
Yeah, they're all dead.
They lie like hell.
Okay. Or maybe the room was like, maybe the room filled with poisonous gas, and that's why you passed out.
And so the idea that we're going to be able to fundamentally change Russia.
Russia's too small to cover it live. I wouldn't blame him, though. He's got to... I mean, he will have to cover it.
Allow Russia to succeed in Ukraine.
Yeah.
They're not stopping Ukraine.
No one
recommend.
I know you avoid this. Like, they promoted this, right?
Oh, yeah. This is his big boy.
Biden put on his big boy pants.
This is supposed to be the redemption, right?
Yeah, this is the redemption arc.
It wasn't about just.
We're supposed to feel a wave of calm. Like this guy's, he's got it.
And
I do feel a wave of
I'm
calm.
supposed to feel like reassured right now. Like, oh,
yeah.
yes.
Talk to anyone who wants to talk,
Biden is the right choice.
Who wanted to talk. Last time I talked to Putin,
I'm not feeling it yet.
Dude, it's sundown. It's sundown hours, folks.
Nuclear weapons in space.
Sundown hours.
That didn't go very far. So my point is,
And the shine is getting deeper and more pronounced too.
Inclination.
It's turning kind of green.
Here's an inclination on
Dude,
the part of the
It
Chinese.
doesn't look good. That makeup is hiding a
I'm not
palate.
sure where this all goes. And look what's happened in Asia.
Hollow, sallow,
We have strengthened
hidden face,
the Asian Pacific
slowly
area more than anyone else.
into himself,
We
trapped in his own mind, a prisoner.
Today, I asked our NATO allies to bring on South Pacific, Australia, New Zealand.
Hey, Skaz, ableist.
Japan.
He has a stutter.
Australia.
I just started too.
Oh, yeah, you do.
And I've met them
Brings
twice
out
now. I
the
think
evil
the
some
leaders
say.
of Pacific Island
I
nation.
think weed brings out
And we've
good.
slowed
Listen
down.
to him is sad. He needs to go.
Slow down.
He needs to
China
retire.
approach. But there's a lot of work.
Grandpa
to do.
belongs on the
Part.
porch in a rocking
I don't
chair
think
sipping
like-
lemonade.
Hey, Grandpa Joe, how's the lemonade?
Son,
How
you are-
fine the lemonade is.
Exactly right. Okay.
I think your program's going to be on soon. Grandpa Joe, you want to go watch them? Sure, I'll be there. Faster than 3 6 and
We're now
11
looking at
2.
10 months of war, and I'm curious if there's anything that you feel personally you wish you would have done differently over the course of the war.
No.
Secondly, if I may, I wanted to ask you about your presidential campaign. I remember covering your campaign in 2020, and there was a moment where you referred to yourself as a, quote, bridge candidacy, a transition to a younger generation of leaders. I want to understand what changed.
So let's get back to.
I'm still emperor.
Everything that's happening in Israel and the Palestinians and the Palestinian movement. The answer is, as you recall, from the very beginning, I went to Israel, but I also got immediate.
Now, the question, Mr. President, was, do you wish you'd done anything differently, given that war has gone on unabated for 10 months and the slaughter is epic and unprecedented?
To try to get a
Another
consensus
reason he said he ran again, too.
what had
I've
to be
heard him say
done
this kind of shit. It's
to deal
Trump.
with
Like, if Trump
getting
hadn't
more
run, I wouldn't
aid
run.
and food and medicine into the Gaza Strip.
Oh, you mean the fucking world-class pier you built?
Pushed it really hard.
How much calling Israel and saying
Israel
knock it off?
occasionally was less than cooperative.
More weapons.
Number one. The Israeli War Cabinet. I've been dealing with Israel since Golda Meir. I saw some of the reporters around here.
What did he say?
I've been tipping
Last time I met with Golda Meir, I said,
There was Golden Meir.
that's how far back I go. I know Israel well. This war cabinet is one of the most conservative war cabinets in the history
That's the final nail. He can't win.
Israel. And there's
Yeah, I
no
swear to
other
God,
answer than
a bunch of Biden fucking
so it was able
going to
to be
try to
done
claim this was
in
some
terms
kind of
of the
coherent speech.
plan I put together.
They better not, man.
Look, TJ, even if Joe Biden
And we get
started
Arab
not an old
nations,
fool, at least
particularly
you're
from
going to pass
Egypt all the way to Saudi Arabia, to be in a position where they would.
I mean, they're just going to make the lesser people's argument. It doesn't matter how incompetent. Look, if they have to use Biden and he does this,
without Israeli
it's
forces
not Trump.
standing Gaza. The question has been from the beginning.
That's all you're
What's
going
the
to
day
get.
after in Gaza?
At the end game to all this.
The answer to Gaza has to be
Unburdened by what was.
at the end of the day. It has to be
Unburdened by what is. Or whatever she said.
The population was
as
awful.
well as the ability.
What could be unburdened by what
get in and out.
was, or
Something like that.
unburdened by what was. I can't fucking know what the fuck it was.
Future, the future, right?
Have not succeeded.
I don't even know.
Report me.
A future unburdened by what is and unfettered by what was.
That's why when I went to.
I don't think it made that much sense.
No, what's his Jack? I said, Netanyahu. I said, you want to have a nice chocolate cake for me? And he said, yeah.
Israelis
I was like, what could be unburdened by
Don't make the
what
same
is?
mistake America made.
I think that's right.
After Bin Laden. There's no need to.
There's a funny story about Bin Laden. Did you know I was in the room and we briefed his ass?
You may recall, I still get criticized for it, but
Here's the quote. What can be unburdened by what has been?
Yes.
There you go.
Once we got Bin Laden, we should have moved on. Because it was not in our. No one's ever going to unite that.
Dude, Captain Morgan, you're not the only one, bro. I don't think anybody in the fucking press conference can hear Joe.
To the north.
Joe, I can't hear you, buddy. Joe!
Speak up!
Stop whispering. You whispering.
We'll help you find bad guys.
What'd you say?
Sinwar and
Turn up, but.
And this is about.
You want to hear him?
When the,
I don't know
Ask
why.
yourself that question. Do you want to hear the answers?
Now he's as loud as he gets.
They cannot be used in Gaza or any
Next time,
populated area.
I'll ask him a question. Let's give him 30 seconds to respond. If you guys actually want to hear what this guy's talking
Remember what
about.
happened when you had
Something they even
the
take
attack on
It's another
Israel
question, assuming.
from with
Dude, he
rockets
literally looks
and
fucking crazy right now. Is that my screen?
Scary little
I was able to unite
and you
Arab
see
nations
him.
as well as Europe.
Does he
Nothing
look
happened.
to anyone else? Am I
Nothing got hurt.
hallucinating? He's not like a flashback I'm having.
What was going on?
He's getting oiled
So there's a lot.
Looks like a burning piece of turkey, you know?
Bottom line,
When you pull it out, you look at it like, oh no.
Fuck these people turn it back down to where it was. I can't hear myself think.
Notice.
Yeah, I know.
Better than most.
Fuck them.
There is.
Want to watch this later and bask in the fucking unintelligible nightmare? Do it on your own fucking time. Throw eardrums.
Hamas is not popular now.
I agree.
And so there's a lot of moving parts. I just have to keep moving to make sure that we get as much done.
I wish you were a moving part.
Watch this, DJ. Pop quiz. What was that Kamala quote?
And by the way,
what can be unburdened by what has been?
Wow, that was pretty good. I wouldn't have been able to do it, I don't think. I'd end up cheating.
I mean, it's only because we just went over it. You ask me in an hour, it's gone again.
What's that quote?
What is...
All right, let's give him the 30 seconds.
As being a bridge candidate for a younger, fresher generation of Democratic leaders, and I wanted to know what changed.
What changed was the gravity of the situation I inherited. in terms of the economy, our foreign policy, and domestic division. And I think, I won't put words in anybody's mouth. Most presidential historians give me credit for having accomplished more than most any president since Johnson and maybe before that. Get major piece of legislation. What I realized was,
it sucks.
A long time in the Senate had equipped me and wisdom how to deal with Congress.
Tell us how you really feel, Peter.
Well, my answer to that is, hello, darkness, my old friend.
Tomorrow,
I've come to walk with you.
Good. I didn't hear what I did, and we just moved things along.
That is the ultimate Joe Biden quote.
It's very fun to know what these guys think of it. Let's see. Did Hassan talk about it?
Sounds need to evolve.
Has turbocharged my arousal levels. I feel fruity.
My friend, gay in England?
I don't know. My friend didn't say why she had to excuse herself from her group chat about the new cabinet, but we knew.
He was actually pretty hot when he was younger.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, he also was a socialist when he was younger, so I think that's probably why.
That's what made him hot.
Yeah. Nobody touches fucking Tito though. Like he was so fucking hot, and Stalin was too.
Yeah, yeah.
Stalin was pretty hot. I don't think I've ever seen Lenin young.
But
Lenin was hot.
Young kid as well.
But I think he was. I mean, Lenin was like. I think Lenin was hot even when he was older though.
Hot from just being like right about everything.
Well, that for sure. I think that plays a role. But like, I always just like, I don't know. He just has like
calming energy.
He has like really cool, like his eyes. I'm very gay for Lenin. Very handsome man.
He looks like the guy I played basketball with today.
Which guy?
That doesn't matter. I don't know.
Did he?
A little bit. Yeah, the guy that kept shooting threes.
The bald guy?
Yeah.
Just because he's bald? That dude was Egyptian, bro.
So is Lenin.
No.
Same thing.
Type in young Lenin. It's just going to be still.
He's still bald, yeah.
Yeah, young Lenin, still.
Oh,
dude, he definitely.
The hair. Look at that guy down. Oh, that's also cool. The hair and the hat. I think it's him in like Disguise. When he's being persecuted and he has to flee.
That doesn't look like him at all.
No, it's him.
No.
Yeah, he flees. He puts on a wig and he gets out to Europe.
Oh, and he also shaved his beard and mustache. Oh. Honestly, I think he looks sexier when he gets older.
Yeah, definitely.
Like he grew into his looks for sure. Google young Stalin was hot. We know. We already said that. Everybody knows that. Yeah.
Zhou Enlai, I thought was pretty hot.
Who?
Zhou Enlai.
Zhou Enlai?
The gay one.
Zhou Enlai Young? Dude, oh yeah. Oh, dude. Yeah, he's a...
But I think the rumors are that he's gay.
Bro.
Premier of China.
He looks like, put this dude in a boy haircut right now in SoCal and he's cleaning ABGs like it's nobody's business. He's out here doing boba runs, okay? He knows how to... He's like a decent baller, okay? He's a decent baller. I'm telling you, dude, my man is cleaning, dude, okay? He's such a fuckboy.
He's punching above his weight. Look at his partner.
Why are you shitting on his girlfriend?
Because he's just so hot. I think it's just, I don't know.
Yeah, he's gay, bro. Give him a break. Give her a break. That's his beard. You're sleeping on Che and Casho? No, because those are established. Like what? Oh, wow. Wow. Bold claim from this guy. I can't believe you would say the most iconic hot guy of like the entire global socialist movement who is like historically on t-shirts, so much so that it has become its like own meme.
Young Gaddafi was pretty hot there, right? He just had a massive jaw.
Who?
Someone said young Gaddafi.
Oh, yeah. He got like the Bogdanov look by the end of his life, like where he progressively
got surgery, though. I think he did strange things to his face.
Yeah, he was
so hot. He was like Maradona.
Yeah, he was. Maradona.
Look at the bottom left.
I know, but it's not like someone who I would think is hot. Like I wouldn't go, oh, Maradona, a hot guy.
Well, I don't know.
What a point of reference.
You got a lot of pussy.
Yeah, because he bald. Like, not because he was hot. Thomas Sankara was hot.
Yeah.
Always.
The youngest one to do it.
Yeah. This social icon definitely had to age into it. Pretty goofy looking when he was younger. Can we chill with that? Like, what do we mean?
How old are you then?
Anyway, all right, we're done with the sexy ass socialists that are. We've done this before.
Yeah, it's lame.
Why do we always do this?
I have one thing, one trick.
We always fucking do this. It's so dumb. Anyway.
That's so what I was going to say, though.
What?
If they said Steven Crowder's not a socialist, you're wrong.
Oh,
There's a
yeah, no,
picture.
that's a meme in this community that,
really?
young me looks like Steven Crowder, which is true, it does, and there's nothing I can do about it. Hassan is like an ancient Greek guy who thinks hotness is a virtue. At no point did I say it's a virtue, dude.
I think it is.
Dude, that's so weird.
I think it takes a lot of discipline.
The type of community I have, they're going to be like, seeking aesthetic perfection is actually a trademark of fascists. Like, you're going to get fucking clamped on by anarchists. La 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 la, no DMCA, la 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 la, no DMCA, la la la.
Good night.